What's going on, guys? It's Steve with hapgaming, and welcome back to another 2.5 stars. I'm joined by
Erik,
Kelly,
Jason,
and Rick.
This week we watched Raiders of the Lost Ark, directed by Steven Spielberg, written by Lawrence Kasdan and George Lucas, starring Harrison Ford, Karen Allen, and Paul Freeman. IMDb synopsis: archaeologist and adventurer Indiana Jones is hired by the U.S. government to find the Ark of the Covenant before the Nazis. So what'd you guys think?
Fucking Nazis.
I like this Indiana Jones. It's possibly my favorite. No, it's my second favorite. The Crusade one, where they drive the tank off the edge, is my favorite.
Yeah,
this one.
It's also got Sean Connery, so that's always great.
Yeah, I think Temple of Doom is now maybe this actually might be my third favorite. I mean, the worst one is obviously
Crystal Skull.
I don't know. I like all of them a lot. That blonde lady and the fucking other one, Temple of Doom, is hilarious, and they have short round in that one, so that one's pretty classic.
Yeah.
Plus, it has the heart grab move.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree with Erik.
And
I
chilled
like
monkey
all
brains.
Oh,
I even like Crystal Skull, but it is by far the worst.
Oh man,
it's a terrible movie, but I like it.
Wasn't that the one with the aliens?
Yeah,
yes.
It was just bad.
So we're getting another one.
And that was the one where whole South Park was saying that they pretty much boned Indiana Jones.
Yeah,
in the butthole.
It wasn't boned is not the right word.
No, but he's using a better word than.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got another one coming out in 2 years, I think, in 2020.
Who's in it?
Harrison Ford.
Oh, he's
probably
doing
a
another?
remake. Sorry.
Does Harrison Ford have a kid that looks like him?
No.
Just take over his roles? Are you sure he doesn't have some like illegitimate love child out there?
No,
the real person to replace him should be Chris Pratt.
Of
Let's
course,
be
it should
real
be Chris
here.
Pratt. It's 100% should be. He should be the guy
Solo,
who is
they've
in
got
Han
some
Solo.
weird
Also,
looking guy that doesn't like that. Have you guys seen the previews for the upcoming Solo movie? It looks like you know what it looks like. Han Solo's impersonator sidekick. Yeah, that's what he looks like, an impersonator sidekick. He doesn't have any of the pizzazz or charisma of Harrison Ford.
Nah, he's horrible for the part. I don't know what they were thinking.
I mean, the movie might be good. I have no idea. It just kind of depends. But he doesn't make me think Harrison Ford or Han Solo at all. Now, Donald Glover 100% makes me think Lando Calrissian, and I'm so fucking happy with that choice. I'm really happy to see Lando come back, and I'm like, fuck yeah, that is Lando.
It is. I like that.
You know what I never understood is why they didn't have Billy D. Williams, that's his name, right? In any of the Indiana Jones movies.
Man, he would be great in one of those.
I mean, talk about like a swindler guy. He could either be against him or his buddy, or even the same scenario where he's like, hey, old buddy, I'm going to fuck you over.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then I'm going to save you while wearing your own clothes.
Yeah. And put a fucking gross fucking flap skin piece of shit in your ship, too, and make it stink up worse than Chewie could ever do.
They could just get a really fat guy.
What guy are we talking about? What is he in?
Billy D. Williams? He's Lando Calrissian.
He's Lando.
Oh, okay,
Even I fucking knew that. God.
That's because of Family Guy.
So shut up.
Well, yeah,
I think I even knew that. I mean, I did. I mean, I know I did.
Yeah.
Well, the only reason why I knew is because Steven's right. It's Family Guy.
But we were talking about it because, Donald Glover is the new Lando in the thing, and the Han Solo guy does not look like him, but Donald Glover was just a fucking excellent choice for that. So I'm hoping, I hope the movie's good just because I like Star Wars movies. So,
yeah.
Well, I mean, looks aside, the guy does not have the same, when you look at him talking, he doesn't have the same feeling as looking at Harrison Ford.
Yeah. That's where Chris Pratt would have come in really well, because he kind of plays that in Guardians of the Galaxy, and even his character in Jurassic World. He's kind of that, kind of dude. So it was like Chris Pratt would have been great for this. And maybe he was on, the thing, but they couldn't do it because of Guardians and Infinity War and all that stuff. So I don't know.
It's not like it overlaps.
Well, the filming probably overlaps.
I mean, that'd be silly. Could you imagine? I mean, Chris Pratt would probably be like, I don't care if I have to work 20 hours a day. I'm going to do this role.
We can just hope that when they do a remake eventually of Indiana Jones, he comes in as Indy, or if they do like a reboot where they do like a his kid or something like that, and just make him Indy's kid, be pretty good too. Instead of Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah.
I feel like he'd make a really good Indy kid.
Yeah.
He's more of a smart ass than his dad, which I really like as well.
Which I mean,
I'm talking like it's actually his dad.
In that scenario, I mean, like, wouldn't you expect Indiana Jones's kid to be
a smart ass? Oh yeah.
His dad is constantly fucking gone and doing all this shit, ends up dying and during capture and all this shit or whatever, and then he's like, "Oh, you fucking asshole."
If it was this Marion, is it Marion? Is that who the lady is in this?
Maid Marian, yes.
So if it's her, she was kind of a smart ass too, so it'd be all right, If she's, because she's the mom in the new in Crystal Skull, anyways.
Yeah.
So you just fucking drop Shia LaBeouf, which he's not that bad. He just wasn't. That movie wasn't good.
Just
and he doesn't. He's not a good indie kid. He just didn't.
Plus, he's a tiny dude.
Yeah. No. He couldn't be Indy's kid.
All they have to do in the next Indiana Jones movie is they have Harrison Ford wake up from the end of Crystal Skull and it was all a dream. There. It's completely unwritten. It never happened.
It's like, fuck, that was just so unrealistic. I mean, the
wake up and you
had
can
no
hear
fucking
like
sense.
going on in the background. He's like, that was a fucked up dream.
That's right. Man, talk about a what if machine.
Oh man. I mean, Shia LaBeouf in Theory, that was fucking great. He was really good in that. So it's like he's not a bad actor. He's weird and didn't fit the indie role at all.
He's weird, which nobody gives a shit about that as long as he's good in the part that he plays.
Well, people give a shit about that when they have to work with him and they don't want to work with him.
Well, yeah, I don't have to work with him. I just got to watch him on screen. So that's fine if he's weird. But I want him to fit the role, and I agree with Steve. He did not make a good Indiana Jones kid.
So, but no, I really like this. Like when I saw watching this now, it's kind of a Marvel thing, but when the Nazi guy comes into the place up in Himalayas and he walks in, I don't remember his fucking guy's name, but all I could think of was Zola from Avengers, that little dude. He's one of the Hydra guys. All I could think is that I was like, well, he's still a Nazi, but he's not the same actor. So I was just like, he's trying to get this fucking this Ark of the Covenant so he can help Hydra take over and kill Captain America. So.
Yeah.
So do you guys think in the new Indiana Jones that's coming out in a couple of years that his son will stab him through the stomach with a sword? You think that's a thing?
I mean, if it's still Shia LaBeouf, maybe.
Well, honestly, I think Kylo Ren is a better fit as Harrison Ford's kid. If you guys have seen, he's in a movie with Daniel Radcliffe, and he plays like this kind of obnoxious guy who's hammering this girl that Daniel Radcliffe likes. He's pretty good in it. It's pretty funny. I was like, because I seen it recently, and I was like, this is not even anything like Kylo Ren. The guy actually has some range.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Kylo Ren, he is technically playing as his son.
Yeah. He's just
at least that's what Leia
depressed.
Told him. Yeah, that's what Leia told him. He looks nothing like
it's
you.
Actually Lando's kid.
I think it's almost more likely that it's Luke's kid.
And I was gonna say is like it doesn't matter that it looks just like my brother. Okay.
Yeah.
Consider the genes, all right? That's just my genes that made it look like my brother.
And also, I come from a backwoods planet that, that kind of, thing isn't really all that frowned upon.
She comes from a planet where, like, they have a lot of royalty, and you know what royalty's famous for?
Yeah. See, that's what
I keep it in the family.
See,
that's what they do. Like, I don't want to have to give all my money to these other people. All right, you two cousins, start nailing. You're now married.
Oh, man.
And that's why, like, all the British royalty have, up until recently, had some pretty weird, like, if you look...
Hey, you're not first cousins. It's cool, all right?
Yeah. If you look at, like, historical pictures, though, I mean, there's a lot of weird-looking fellas in the British royalty.
Yeah.
Well, pretty much any royalty. There's, like, like guys with, like, foreheads that are, like, this big, and it's like they have a face that's like this. They look like they should be eating it tiny little bits.
Yeah, I was just gonna say they should be eating over their little bits.
Little bits.
God damn it!
Come and get some tiny food, you little piece of shit.
That was awesome. So I was trying. We were talking about names. So I threw out the name Rick. I was like, oh, name the little crumb grinder Rick. If it's a boy, Kelly's like, hell no. It's like, dang it.
Then you can't have little Rick.
Not because of you, but because of Ricky from Trailer Park Boys, and then Rick. No. After some drunk scientist dude. No.
Well, I mean, you should be like happy if your kid becomes so fucking smart he becomes like Rick.
That's right. Kelly would be just that mom too.
I mean, I'm just saying, if he can invent a portal gun and a flying spaceship at a crappy fountain in the garage, that kid's fucking going place.
There's nothing useful in Jerry's garage.
Exactly, and that was Jerry's garage he did this with. So, like, if that kid can do that, he's fucking going places.
He likely did it out of an old toaster and an old iPad.
Yeah. Well, there was also some garbage cans,
Yeah.
So
Eric's gonna go to work and be like, "What the fuck did you do to my rig?" He's like, "It's cool. I changed it so it's got a laser cutter. You never have to change the blade again. It's fucking great, Dad. Check this out."
Just cuts the entire fucking forest down in one shot. It's like,
yeah.
Oops.
Okay, that would be really
burning
cool.
up.
I'd be like, yes. Yeah. There's just like you see like from outer space this fucking bright beam, and then you just see like part of the planet fall off, like just like. Oh shit, I just flattened a shitload of stuff. Let's aim the sucker at North Korea. My bad.
God damn it, they're going to fucking launch missiles over our house now, Eric.
Well, his house, we're fine.
So I like the beginning of this movie where they, he's going into the temple and stuff like that. And he just kind of shows how fearless the dude, how fearless Indy is. Just like, oh, fucking tarantulas, whatever. Don't give a shit. Yeah, watch out for this thing. Don't stand in the light. It's gonna fucking kill you. All this stuff. Yeah. And then when he runs away, gets into the fucking plane, there's a goddamn snake in there that isn't gonna do anything to him, and he's just freaking the fuck out. It was just like it's kind of I know it's all building to later on in the movie, so you know why he freaks the fuck out when he finds the Well of Souls and stuff like that. Is that what it's called?
Snakes are fucking scary.
Well, they've all got their fears. His dad is terrified of rats.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I thought that was kind of cool, and you kind of see the same thing with Marion later on, where she's drinking that guy under the table. And then she's, drinking with with Bellick. I don't know. Is he a Nazi guy? I think he's just another
French guy.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So
actually, technically, if it's the right year, then he no,
could
it's
be.
not
Yeah.
because
No,
they
it's
have not
36.
been taken over yet.
1936. So
yeah, so they're like 5 years away from being taken over by the Nazis.
yeah. So just kind of that kind of building on the character, and you're like, oh well, there's no way she's drunk enough to be how fucking wasted she looks right now. So it's just I don't know, I kind of like how they build up on those kinds of character, those plot points, early on in the movie and stuff. So
how much alcohol would you have to consume daily to be able to start, like, as a regular sized woman, to start being able to drink under the table guys who come into a bar?
Yeah. I mean, and
like,
guys who come into a bar every day because there isn't anything else to do on that fucking mountain.
No.
Yeah. I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot of alcohol.
Well, she probably puts a little bit of alcohol in everything.
I liked when that one guy showed up. I don't know his name. I didn't catch the names, but when he burned his hand, that whole scene, and she's middle of basically getting burned, and she's like, go, go, go.
Yeah.
Who does that?
Speaking of that guy burning his hand, who grabs onto something hot and then just holds it while they scream?
A Nazi who wants to
Nazi.
make sure he gets the impression. I mean,
but he only got one half.
Crazy people.
A Nazi that gets his face melted off. Later on.
Dude, it melted like the Joker would. I feel like it was basically all white and red makeup.
Did any of you guys understand the ending at all? Because this is the only thing that this movie that I actually brought me back is I realized that I haven't actually seen the ending of that movie in like 10 years. Normally what happens is right before he gets there with the rocket launcher and he's going to shoot him, I just turn the movie off and be like, that's the ending.
Oh, so like why they were there? kind of thing?
Why did
why
the
did it
Ark
kill
of the
everybody?
Covenant, something that people carried around, in the stories, carried around in the desert, and then they drank and ate food out of it? Why did it just open up and nuke a bunch of people? I mean, I realize they're Nazis, which is like...
Well, I think because it was used by the Hebrews, so it was used as a weapon to protect the Hebrews, from their enemies. So I think everybody that you saw, like in the paintings and stuff, those were all like Egyptians that they were just annihilating with it. I think that's what it was meant to do, was just annihilate everybody. They said it was lightning coming out of it, but it looked like it was, some crazy soul things, coming out and just like banshees melting people's faces. But I don't know. It's like, what was the point of them going out there? I don't know. I guess, he was supposed to do some ritual. Maybe that'll turn it to their side or some shit. But how is some dumb ritual supposed to turn this thing that's supposed to be brought down from the heavens?
It was a movie premiere of the new Indiana Jones movie, and they were using that there to hold everyone hostage. You see.
Well,
and then when they played it, it was so bad that it melted everyone's faces.
Everybody's faces melted.
That part of it, I've always been like, what is going on here? Like, just all these like ghosts come out.
And I'm not sure. I think I might have missed something, but all these ghosty things come out. Everybody gets like electrocuted to death by this orange fiery shit, and then suddenly Indiana Jones is just on tide. Like they both just kind of let go of the pole, and they're like, "Well, that's done."
Yeah.
The ghost.
You
didn't see behind it, but the ghost just untied it for him. He's just like,
he was like, "Oh, you're cool enough not to look. Okay, I'll untie it."
You had your eyes closed like a smart man.
Yeah. Yeah, who closed the fucking thing? I mean, why did it stop? You got to close the thing for it to stop, right?
Well, it floated like this big blast of stuff went up in the air, and you can see the lid flying around. Basically, it picked its own lid up and then closed itself. It's like, well, we nuked all the Nazis in this immediate vicinity. Our job here is done.
Yeah, why wouldn't you have used that to like just drop it on, Berlin or something like that later on? Use it as a weapon.
Yeah, you could be like, you'd put a thing on there that's like in German, free candy, or even worse, that would probably work on a better, free sausage.
Schnitzel.
It'd be like, oh my god, a golden thing with free I mean, it's obviously legit. It's gold. Nobody's gonna put not free sausage in it. They'd open it up, and then Berlin's gone.
That's right.
Damn it.
Oh man, you just walk through the streets of Berlin, it'd be all like gross and slimy and stuff because everybody's faces melted off.
No, because after it closed its own lid, everything was clean and nice. There wasn't even footsteps in the sand. It just erased everything.
Yeah.
Wiped all trace.
I do love the fist fight with the big guy.
Yeah, that's great.
Where he just jabs him, and Indy's like, "Oh, I'm almost knocked out." Shit. Yeah. And just like that, where he comes over and he's like, "All right, let's fight," and Indy's like, "Oh, son of a bitch."
It's crazy how much blood is in this movie when he gets hit by the prop and when Indy gets shot in the arm and that kind of stuff. Because Temple of Doom in 1984, a guy gets his head cut off and it comes rolling down these stairs and it's not a drop of blood anywhere. Not on the blade that cut it, not on the body, nothing. It's like they just forgot people bleed.
Well, there is a lot of blood when the dude rips the other guy's heart out.
Yeah.
So,
I wonder if they have like a movie quota of blood they can show before it becomes like a rated X movie.
I think they do.
Rated X?
I don't know if they were more strict back in the day.
These are like PG.
This is a PG
Are they
movie.
PG-13?
This is a PG movie.
Okay, man. Before, obviously, I was like, is it PG-13 or R? I don't know. I just assumed it was R.
No.
But that makes sense because you don't see. If this was an R movie, we would be seeing,
Boobs.
boobs.
Yeah. Temple of Doom is PG
God,
also.
That right there really is actually what these movies are missing are boobs.
Damn it, Ricky.
Yeah, that would have brought it up to 4 stars for you, huh, Ricky?
Yeah, I probably would have. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, man.
We're just going to have to get a big shirtless man and put him in the movie.
I mean, Harrison Ford did take his shirt off, Ricky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, that big guy had his shirt off.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Dude, you got some boobs in here. You ought to rate it higher.
Yeah.
No, that's all right.
I like how every vehicle just blows up. Doesn't matter. Like I shoot a dude in the head, the vehicle tips over and then it blows up.
Well, you see, this is in the universe where everything blows up. Like a little kid down the road crashes his tricycle and he has to jump off and do like movie action style as his tricycle blows up.
I like that.
Last Action Hero stuff.
Exactly.
Badass kid.
That's a good idea. Maybe that's what we need to be filming is just, like my nephew or Steve's kid, and just have him ride a tricycle and then just blow it up.
Yeah,
that's right.
Without the kid on it.
He doesn't even turn around.
Exactly.
We'll tie a rope to the back of it, so when he gets so far away, it stops, and he goes over the handlebars, and then it explodes. Everything's cool.
I can't wait to make my kid a zip line and then watch him zip line and then cut the cord and halfway through it and be like,
so that way he falls like you did.
Teach him not to trust his dad.
The good thing is,
or her dad.
I'll just be like, "Oh, that was weird. Your mom did it."
Not
Did you see that? Did you see that? Yeah, then Kelly's be like, "That's not true. I'm gonna tell you right now. When we go in, she's gonna say she didn't do it."
But don't trust her.
Trust.
This is her lying face. Okay.
Yeah.
They'd go inside, and then his kid would be like, "Oh yeah, mom's at the supermarket." Erik would be like, "Shit."
No, that's a lie.
Like,
she's just hiding.
She's an evil mastermind. She had this all planned out weeks ahead of time.
So
Sounds like me.
There was one thing that really annoyed me about the movie. Annoyed me about the movie.
The Noid. Pizza Hut Noid.
So he falls in the snake pit, and as a little kid, before they remastered the show, I remember the I almost said viper, but the
Cobra?
The cobras raise their head up, and you can see the reflection in the glass that's in between him and the cobra, and they edited that shit out. And I'm like, why would you do that? Just leave it original. Why are you fucking with
Oh,
the good
really?
movie?
So I was like, how the hell did they do that? Because like the cobra looks right there, which
Yeah.
it was apparently in between it and a pane of glass.
But
That's
yeah,
a good ass idea.
you could see like stuff in the background reflecting off the glass, and clearly see the snake's head. And they edited all the reflections out. And I don't
know if you.
It kind of bothered me that they did that to a movie that I was so fond of as a child.
Well, I mean, this is a Steven Spielberg, George Lucas joint, man. Of course they did that.
Well, it's like Star Wars, like Palpatine. So this is really sad. I never remembered what Palpatine looked like until after I seen the remastered thing, and I remember watching it, going, "Oh my God, they actually had the same guy 20 years ago do this? This is incredible." And then I seen the old one on a VHS, and I'm like, "That's not the same."
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay, I got tricked.
And it's the same with like the Force Ghosts on Endor, where originally they had just some rando dude playing Anakin, and then when the remastered ones have what's his name?
God, that plays Anakin.
But I don't remember his name.
Hayden Christensen.
Yeah, he's standing in for Anakin at that point. So it's just yeah. I mean,
he's
like
over there
said,
with a smug ass face.
That's right. I hate sand. Yeah. I'm gonna whine about sand.
I've got force powers.
And I hate sand.
Okay, but now
I get sand in my crap.
But now this is what I don't get though. Actually, about that though. Okay, so so like Yoda and Obi-Wan, right? They look exactly like they did when they died. Anakin doesn't.
He looks the same way he looked when he was still a Jedi.
Well, then why the fuck can't the other two be like, oh, I'm just gonna fucking make myself look younger if he can do it?
Well, because he wasn't a Jedi at that point. I don't think Sith, unless it's a whole different conversation. Sith can't come back as a Force ghost unless they attach themselves to some dark object, and then they basically can like possess people and shit. They're like poltergeist kind of thing.
They're demons.
Yeah. So a Jedi, he comes back when he was a Jedi still.
What a Jedi thing needs is just like demons.
I mean, you kind of have demons with some of that stuff.
No, I mean like real critters, like critter demons, not
devil,
like a Sith guy.
Not like critters.
You have the fucking devil guys, the fucking guys with horns.
No, not a person-looking thing, like something that's like a critter, but super smart, really scary.
Okay.
So basically, like General Grievous shaped character, but organic. Oh, that would be terrifying. And then like the same like Sith eyes and stuff, and then Force powers. Oh, that'd be fucking terrifying.
So you just want something like of pure force, dark side force power, but like, you know, not a Sith or anything like that. It's just, it is just dark side creature kind of thing.
Well,
I'm sure
I was thinking
like
what would actually be really cool is having like a movie where there's like a boat, like a shipload of Jedis, like 10 of them. And then somehow this demon thing shows up and chases them around the fucking ship.
Just something like maybe the Empire or like the Sith put against the Jedi.
So it'd be like Star Wars meets Predator,
or Star Wars meets Alien.
I was thinking more like Star Wars meets Alien, but with force powers and all that. Because you imagine a force powered alien that's like obviously smarter than the fucking Jedi.
Star Wars movie.
Well,
that actually might work.
I was still with the horror Star Wars thing where you put Darth Vader on a ship of rebels and then they're just like scared shitless the whole time.
Can you imagine how scary that would be?
Hey, you just hear that breathing, and then you hear the fucking lightsaber come on, and
it's fucking pitch black, and you're like, oh shit! I'd be like, Steve, play dead. He won't know. Just play dead. Oh, man. Let's just go on. Wait a second, I got a better idea. Let's go on the shitter. He won't kill us on the shitter.
Nope, he's got.
He opens the door. We're like, we're on the shitter. We surrender. No need to kill us. We're dead. Don't kill us on the shitter. You're gonna get shit on your lightsaber. I covered myself in shit.
That shit'll burn off.
It would work. He doesn't. That guy is definitely a neat freak. You look at him, Hayden Christensen. He's always got all of his stuff all just right. I mean, if you guys could imagine me as a Jedi, or you know, maybe not Steve so much, but Ricky would basically if you had me, it would basically just be like a Big Mac on my shirt all the time.
I just
with shit in my beard.
I imagined you as fat Darth Vader, only you're covered in fucking dog hair all over your black, so it just stands out.
Like fucking husky fur on it and shit. And I'm just like, goddamn dog. You're like pulling it out of my breathing mask. Fucking son of a bitch. There's just like a Big Mac. You know how he's got his helmet and that part right here? He's just like stuck right there. You're like, is that a fucking Big Mac? What the hell?
Luke's all fighting. He's like, you got a little something. He's like, oh, that's where you went, you little dickens. Starts eating it.
Oh, that'd be terrible.
That's one thing that's like scary. I think that adds to scariness about stuff is being really neat and tidy.
Yeah.
That's why all the Nazis in all these movies are super, you know, well put together as far as their clothing and all that crap. Because like a sloppy villain is not that scary unless it's the Joker.
I was gonna say, unless it's the Joker.
I feel like that's how the Nazis were, though, too. Was very tidy and shit like that, and very you know,
they got shit done. Seriously, right?
Unfortunately.
Sorry.
Steve's can't take it. The anticipation of when a sex doll shows up is just making him queasy.
Damn it.
It's got butterflies.
Nice, Kelly. Oh,
God damn it.
Yeah, so like I like John Rice. That's his name, Jonathan Rice Davies.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's such a good character in this.
I like him in a lot of stuff. Like, you know, he's you know him when you see him. He's just a character actor kind of thing, but he's a good actor. Like,
wasn't he Gimli?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he was.
He was also that dude on Sliders. Do you guys ever see Sliders?
Oh,
he was the other guy, right?
Sliders. I wish they'd finished the series.
Not watch Sliders.
Fuck.
But you missed out, Ricky.
I'm sure you can watch it on Netflix.
You can, or you could have. I don't know if you still can.
Yeah, it was on there for a little while, and then I waited too long. I love that show.
So did I.
Where the fuck is it? I'm still going.
I don't even know what the fuck Sliders is, so you know. I mean.
So what it was is it had the fat kid from, I think, was it Stand By Me?
Yeah, Jerry O'Connell.
Yeah.
Yeah, except now he's like a manorexic guy, which is Jay Moore's words, not mine. He said it to his face too, so I imagine it's okay to say. Anyways, he's like super in shape, so he's not fat anymore, but he's a super smart scientist, makes this portal, and has this little remote to pick the place that he's going to go. So he does that. When he goes through the portal, he fucks up his remote, and he can't get home. So now then the remote just has some random amount of time and a random place it goes to, so then they have to jump through the wormhole or they're stuck there.
He plays Max.
Yeah.
This was in 95 to 97. I thought this was way earlier. I don't know why I thought
it seems
this
like
was way
it
earlier.
came around when we were in, what was it, sixth, seventh grade.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's jumping through all these different realities that are almost exactly like ours with minute differences, trying to get back to the reality he started in. And in like season 3, he gets back to the reality he started in, but he doesn't figure it out in time, and he leaves to go to the next reality because he doesn't think he did.
What a dumbass.
Yeah, there's some pretty...
I mean, honestly, it'd be like, it's close enough.
Well, I mean, there's pretty cool. Well, there was a couple of them that were pretty cool. Like, do you remember the one where all the dudes had died, and him and Remy were having to supply their seed to the willing women?
I do remember.
Yeah, they were giving him shakes to keep his loads high.
Oh man!
It was like, why would you leave that again? Like.
So he plays a character in. Did you guys ever watch that cartoon Gargoyles?
Yes.
He plays a character in that also.
Oh shit.
Plays Macbeth in that. It's been so fucking long since I've seen that. I just remember the guy from Star Trek, shoulder pads. I don't remember his name right now.
Shoulder pads.
Riker.
Don't
remember his name right now. He was in. I just remember him in the Gargoyles TV show. And he also was a voice in... He was Thor in Fantastic Four cartoon, and in a Hulk cartoon. So
nice. He would make a good Thor.
Yeah. He's got that kind of Shakespearean style voice down, you know? So
yeah.
Well, he's got a deep voice. I mean, Thor's not going to come out like, hey, guys, what's going on?
My Thor would.
Alien Ant Farm. Remember that, Steven?
Yeah.
You met the lead.
No, that was not Alien Ant Farm. That was
That wasn't Alien Ant Farm. What was that?
Fuck, I don't remember.
I could have sworn that was Alien Ant Farm.
No, it was some other guy. Don't remember his name. Don't remember what band it was.
Yeah.
So yeah, that
you
guy.
Just know that Ricky was wrong.
I do know that Ricky was wrong. It was not Alien Ant Farm.
But I do remember that I was also in a gorilla costume.
You were in a gorilla costume. You got thrown into a sign.
Yeah, no, it was a light post, and it made it ring for like 30 minutes.
Yeah, it was pretty.
That
Either
made
that
your
or
head
it was my
ring.
head. Like that fucking hurt.
What? You guys met a singer in real life? Is that what you said?
Yeah. So we were doing those Jackass videos when we were younger.
Oh, yeah.
And we were in downtown. And Ricky was in a gorilla costume. A friend of ours was in a chicken costume, and I had the camera, and the chicken was chasing the gorilla, or the other way around or whatever.
Yeah.
And then Ricky got pushed into a pole, and like you said,
you really
made it
can't
ring.
see all that well with the gorilla mask on. Like your peripheral vision is non-existent. So like you can't see the pole right there. So boom. Yeah. Oh, I was down on the ground, dude. Like,
and then we ran across the fucking lead singer of the band that I don't remember the name of.
Yeah,
right now.
but he had like a
really high pitched voice.
Really high pitched voice.
Really funny because it was like a death metal kind of band. Like, so it definitely wasn't Alien Ant Farm. It was something where he's got Cookie Monster voice when he's singing.
So it's like Cannibal Corpse. He comes over and in the songs you're like.
Yeah,
and then you talk to him. He's like, "Hey guys, how's it going?"
That's literally exactly how. That's literally exactly how it was.
Yeah.
You guys want an ice cream pop?
Hey guys, let's go get us some titties and beer.
Like literally, that's literally how it was. Like I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
That's weird. Maybe he wrecked his voice with all the weird
Cookie Monster voice.
Maybe he did too many steroids and he shrunk his balls.
He was a very small dude, so I don't think that would be the case.
Okay. There's this guy. He was in some kind of a band, and he was a big dude. Like he lifted weights and stuff. Boy, I cannot remember his name. Kelly might remember it. But anyways, he comes out, and somebody just walks up and decks him, and he just drops him like a sack of rocks. It's hilarious.
Oh man.
Yeah, I can't remember. He's like a death metal band, maybe, or at least heavy metal, and he had a D in his name, but I just cannot. Might even have been I'm not good at remembering names. That's definitely not my strong suit.
Douche McJingle.
Or lyrics either. So
Erik just likes to make up his own.
Yeah, he does.
Mm-hmm.
I think it takes
He's trying to sing his kid to sleep, just making up some weird ass shit.
Yeah, he's just out there singing, singing about, like where the squirrels go when I chop their fucking trees down and run their nests over.
I'm the Linda of our relationship. Kelly's the Bob, and I'm the Linda.
Oh,
just make up weird lyrics. Who is Harry Truman? He's dead in the ground. Kid's like, oh man, this is taking a dark turn here.
So this it's Indiana Jones. They've got the scene where they're in the bazaar, and you got the guy with the two scimitars, like just fucking yelling and swinging around and stuff like that. Yeah. And Indy just shoots him in the fucking face. So that was like, that's the classic. Harrison Ford was supposed to get into a big fight with that guy.
Yeah,
but he was sick, so he just shot him. So I was like, that's pretty good. I mean, like, I think it was better this way.
It was way better.
It would have been just kind of dumb. It kind of showed how badass Indy is. He's like, the fuck, I'm not gonna fight you. Fuck off, get out of here, and just shoots him. So
yeah, well, that's what it's like in Brothers Grimsby when he gets the gun and he's just like, boom.
Yeah.
Oh, that were so easy. Yeah.
Oh god, that movie.
That was a good movie.
Yeah.
That was a good movie, but goddamn it.
Yeah, that was a little extreme.
Oh, what the fuck?
Hey, we did learn a use of elephant semen that we did not prior.
What was that? You want to try that again, Jason?
I'm drunk on elephant semen.
Oh, fucking gross.
Poor Kelly.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, this movie definitely. The Indiana Jones movies back then really liked the useless chick stereotype.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They're always wearing high heels, even in a fucking desert.
Yeah. She wasn't wearing those until she was given to him later on. I mean,
She was not as useless a chick as she could have been. She knew how to use a frying pan.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounded so much worse than I intended.
Yeah. She did hit a guy in the head with a frying pan.
That is what I meant by it.
Yeah. I almost think it'd be kind of neat to have, like, maybe have Indiana Jones just be a woman and then have like a useless guy.
Yeah. Well, this was like,
Yeah, but we don't need to do what they did with Ghostbusters. Well, let's just remake this and reverse the gender roles just because.
No, I'm not saying that, but it would be funny to have I mean, let's be real here. Like, there are a lot more useless guys now than there were back then.
Oh, fuck yeah, there are.
Well, this was like height of damsel in distress kind of stuff. It was just that's what movies always did then, and it's not needed anymore. And you still see fucking movies like this. And I'm trying to remember the one I was thinking of, and I totally lost it. I'm sorry, don't remember which one I was thinking of.
Nowadays, like
Superman. Superman is very much that way. It's like Lois Lane does not need to be what she is in the things. She's very just like, okay, well, Superman's just there to save her, or she's there for Superman to save. That's all it is.
She's not a useless chick. She's a chick who gets herself in too deep. She goes way past her depth.
Yeah.
Like, she's not a useless chick. Like, she
Well, she just needs to fucking get a goddamn gun and fucking leave Superman alone.
Well, like, if you look at all the like Man of Steel, the last movie, she finds all the bad guys. Basically, she leads into the thing, and then basically she's like, "Okay, now it's time for Superman to take this guy out. Help me, Superman!" And then Superman takes him out. She's basically like Superman's handler.
I just don't think she's needed in any of this stuff anymore. If she's gonna be there, they could just have him and Wonder Woman hanging out, kicking people's asses. That way, you have a strong woman instead of having this person that Superman saves all the time.
Thing in there where they actually use proper physics, and she falls off a building, and Superman catches her at super high speed,
and then she dies.
And just fucking explodes her.
Yeah.
And
then, maybe she could get some superpowers.
That would be cool too.
Be as
be awesome
like
as
Superman.
I'm gonna be like, what's her face with Spider-Man? Who the hell was Spider-Man with?
Mary Jane.
Mary Jane, Gwen Stacy.
Yeah, you see, Mary Jane gets superpowers for bonus Spider-Man.
Well,
no, she doesn't get. She doesn't get spider powers from bonus Spider-Man. She's actually there's a whole like comics thing where some supervillain turns all the fucking people in New York into spider people and stuff. So they all have superpowers for a little while, and then they turn into monster spiders. And Mary Jane is immune to the virus for a limited amount of time because of boning Spider-Man. She's built up an immunity for Spider-Man's DNA as it is.
Well, one thing to think about with the whole Superman Lois Lane conundrum is, like, who would be the more effective crime fighter? Superman or Lois Lane.
Well, you know Lois Lane would be, because she would fucking. She would be she's so like driven to get the story and shit like that. If she had powers to do something about something, you know, some shit, then she would be taking so many. Like Superman would be, Clark would be like, "What the fuck? I ain't got nothing to do now because you just take them all out."
Well, Superman, I think, is actually really kind of dumb. He's got book smarts, but he has no actual street.
I don't think he has book smarts either.
I think he's just slow. I think, like, if you look at the comics and everything, she figures the stuff out. And it would be like if Batman and Alfred had that dynamic, then Alfred would be the one who figured out who every criminal was. And he's like, go beat him up, Batman.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much what their dynamic is. So it's just funny.
Give him an IQ test and he'll just draw a big duck on it, a blue duck.
Yeah, pretty much.
Maybe get his name
on
the
punch.
paper.
You know what he'll do? He'll punch through the paper.
This is dumb. And just punch it.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Be smart.
He breaks his fist. They're like, yeah, that's kryptonite paper. We thought you might do that.
Well, why do you think the people from his home planet sent him here to Earth?
It didn't actually blow up. They're just like, we got to get rid of this guy.
They just told him it blew up, and like, let's get fucking rid of this idiot.
He is bringing the fucking planetary IQ down so bad we have to get rid of him.
Pretty much, yeah.
His parents forgot to take that test to find out if he's a little slow while he's still getting made.
Uh-huh.
Then they find out and they're like, oh, God, what are we going to do? We can't abort it. That's against the law here. I got an idea. We'll send him away in a spaceship with a message saying our planet blew up. You know what we'll do? We'll send a radioactive meteorite to crush into a spaceship immediately after. It was an accident.
Exactly.
You know?
Oh, man.
That's what I'm saying. You know, that's what happened with Superman's true origin story.
Yeah, well, you know, I wonder what Indiana Jones's real origin. Like, who wants to go around chasing after artifacts and stuff?
Well, they did the young Indiana Jones series where you get to see how he first starts out and gets the whip and everything.
When you see him young in Last Crusade too. So is it Last Crusade? Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
So
I kind of want to know what happened between him and Marion back when she was just a girl. Like, are we finding out some Me Too stuff here?
Yeah.
I mean, it was 1936, you know.
Well, you see his class is predominantly women in his college, his archaeology class, or whatever the hell he's teaching. So, you know.
Yeah.
That's true.
He is such a dry, boring teacher, though. Like, you can tell how dry and boring they tried to make him to counteract how, like, awesome he is outside the classroom.
Yeah.
How interesting can lecturing about that shit be? It's like,
it could be super interesting if he talks about all his adventures.
And days walking through the sand.
Well, sorta. He could be like...
And then I spent more days walking through the sand. And then I stumbled across a brick and I started excavating. And lo and behold, there was a building there.
You made that more exciting than he would have.
Well, I mean, talking about, you know, ancient stuff is actually kind of interesting when you find out all the stuff that we could do 10,000 years ago.
Well, it was all aliens.
We could tell you it's not all aliens. I mean,
it's all aliens. It's all aliens.
No, we did it ourselves. Just because the aliens gave us all the designs and plans for it doesn't mean we didn't put it together.
You know what I've learned from doing stuff with stubborn, hard-headed people? Human beings can do anything as long as there's enough stubborn, hard-headed people around. You can get anything to happen. We could move the moon away from the Earth if we had enough stubborn, hard-headed people. It could happen. Like, they'd be like, okay, climb up on my shoulders and then just shove it. I mean, stubborn, hard-headed people will just get anything done. It's ridiculous.
Eric's like, no, fuck this. I'm just gonna get my fucking tractor.
I mean, that's what loggers do. Is like, we're like, hey, I don't care for that kind of activity, but there's a lot of stubborn, I don't care how hard it is, we're going to do this going on. And I mean, it's kind of a skill that's like kind of gone. Like, I don't know if old man strength was like, that's the last of it, you know, because there's not a lot of people my age that I know that is, well, my brother is pretty much the only one that I know where no matter what, we're going to do this. It's going to be terrible, but it's going to happen.
It's going to be terrible, but it's going to happen.
Well, I mean, there's like lots of crap that I've done where it's like, I have to do this. It's the worst thing ever. It super sucks. Why do I have to do this? And up until about 3 years ago, I would just be like, I'm not doing it. It's not going to happen. And I still get that way with like easy stuff, like bookkeeping and stuff. I'm like, I'm not doing that. Not gonna happen. But that's more like I don't know. There's like some switch in my brain that doesn't work.
Erik gets audited. He's like, good luck. Here, this is all the stuff I've saved in the past 7 years.
No, Kelly's got all that stuff taken care of.
Kelly's like, hold on.
Yes, Kelly, you have it all taken care of.
Taken care of. Everything is square. Well, it's like we just did her taxes. Kelly had all the paperwork ready to go. It was all fine. You know, she had it all taken care of.
Erik would be so lost without Kelly.
I would be totally fucked is where I would be. I would basically be like
poor little puppy dog.
Yeah, I would have to, that's what I'm going to have, you know, that's what I would have to use all the time is just be like, all right, sad puppy dog guys, but please, I don't know. Can I have some money? That's, you know, like Indiana Jones. Yeah, right. That'd be cool though. Indiana Jones is I don't know. They could because Indiana Jones, they could do a lot of different stuff with that guy.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be even in the same time period.
We could do a modern one now, and it's his great-great-grandkid or something.
Who owns Indiana Jones? Like what?
Probably Disney.
I don't know.
I'm sure
that's
it's Disney.
Yeah, I think it's Disney. Because isn't there a ride, or was a ride at
There's a ride at Disneyland, but they could have just bought rights to do the ride.
It's true.
Let's see.
I'm pretty sure they did the ride after they bought the rights to the movies, though.
No, that ride has been there for a long time.
I know. I went there like right after it was built.
Do they still have it?
Yeah, they still have it. It was built in like 1996.
I know, Ricky. We've got Richie Rich over here. I went to Disneyland.
Yeah, I've never been.
I have been to Disneyland so many times. I would gladly
twice,
give up
I
some of
think.
my memories for other people to go there. I hate Disneyland.
Oh.
I went there every year for 18 years.
Lucky.
My grandparents were rich, and they took my cousins to Disneyland. But apparently we made such an impression, they decided to not take us to Disneyland. And the whole, like, the deal was they were supposed to take my cousin, the next one, then me, then the other cousin, then my brother. Like, you're supposed to take one a year.
Yeah.
And then, but I think they decided that after dealing with us, they're like, that's just not a good plan. We better just, not going to happen.
So Walt Disney acquired Lucasfilm in 2012. They have the rights, the ownership rights to Indiana Jones, but Paramount Pictures still owns the distribution rights, so they're allowed to put it out and all that stuff. But Walt Disney can make a movie now and stuff like that. I wonder who would own the distribution rights on the new movie though.
Probably Disney.
I don't know, because there's weird fucking things with all that stuff. It's like, you know, Disney owns the intellectual property for all of Marvel, but they don't own the movie rights for Spider-Man, and they just got the rights back for the X-Men and all that stuff for mutants and shit.
Some lawyers is who owns it.
Yeah, some lawyers.
You know what I want to know? Who was the guy? Like, lawyers, I kind of wish nobody would have ever thought of lawyers as a profession so that everything was clear cut. Like, I own this. Like, so there isn't any license crap. Like, if you buy a DVD, it turns out it's just licensed to you or some baloney. Yeah. Like, who the fuck comes up with that stuff? Somebody needed to, a long time ago, no, this is way too complicated. People are stupid. Let's keep it simple.
Dude, I was listening to, I was listening to podcasts about Rome and all that shit and just the lawyering shit. Back then, like, you could just make a law where a dude did something in the past and just say now it's illegal, so you can go arrest that guy, at that point. So it's just like there's so many things where if you made a law because you didn't like a dude, you're like, well, that guy, he cut his lawn wrong, 2 years ago. I don't like him, so we're going to arrest him now because I made a law now that you have to cut your lawn this way. So
well, it's like all the goofy people who thought that all their relatives who were in jail over pot were going to get let go as soon as pot was legal. It's like, no, they broke the law at the time.
Yeah.
They're stuck in jail until they've done their time.
Yeah, I don't believe in retroactive type laws. I think that's fucking stupid. If they did something that was legal or illegal at the time, they shouldn't get any kind of benefits out of a law changing later. That's stupid.
Well, I think we can all agree letting a bunch of stoners out of prison would probably be the thing to do. Because, it'd be like, just hand them a couple spliffs when they get out. Here you go. Sorry about that. My bad. And they'll be like, that's not a big deal. It's fine.
Well, I don't think it'd be a big deal to let a bunch of stoners out, but they let a bunch of stoners out, then they make some other law change in some way, and somebody else gets out who really shouldn't be. It's like, I don't know.
Well, yeah, I mean, there is the whole slippery slope argument, which people say is a logical fallacy, which I don't think it is. I think it's one of those things that, like, if you let something go and then it gets worse and worse and worse, it doesn't happen every time, but it can happen. And
California is trying to make some retroactive laws right now where things that were legal with weapons in the past are now they're trying to go back and take it away because the laws have changed. And it used to be like, well, it's okay because it was okay then. And now for owning a weapon that was okay then, it's like, well, now that we made it illegal, if you're caught with it, you're going to jail. And it's like, fuck you. That's fucking stupid. Go eat a dick.
Yeah. Well, that's... California does not like... Well, they're trying to solve a problem. They're trying to solve a problem that's not the actual... the solution is not just to solve that problem. It's not. It's like this. If you took away everything from people you could kill another person with, we couldn't have cars, knives, baling wire, strings.
We couldn't have anything. You can kill somebody with anything. It doesn't matter.
You would be nude on asphalt. Mm-hmm. No. You would be nude on floating in zero gravity with no sugar. Like, here's the thing. Like, why don't they go after sugar as bad as they go after everything else? Because sugar kills way more people than fucking guns do.
That's true.
Like, totally more. Look at all the people. Like, I was reading some estimate. They're estimating that at least a third of the United States population is going to have diabetes in the next 10 years. No. That's not it. It was a third of the country right now has either diabetes or undiagnosed pre-diabetes. They're basically fucked and they don't even know it. Think about that. And I mean, I was that way. I didn't go to the doctor. I was like, I'm not going to go to the doctor and have him tell me you got diabetes. Like, I can tell I'm fat and I don't feel good all the time. And I quit eating sugar and I'm fine now. Ish. Well, I mean, I'm 30 something years old. There's like parts on me that are now like hurting that never used to. And I'm like, this is dumb.
Parts that you didn't know you had in the first place.
Bullshit. God. Where the fuck is a vampire to just make me 33 forever? Plus, if he would be cool and let me know that he was going to do that, I could get life insurance and make a killing.
Oh, man.
So back to Indiana Jones movies. Most of these movies were made before any of us were born, and yet they're still pretty fucking amazing today.
They were made at the time that we were born.
Well, yeah, it was made like
in the 80s.
81, 84, and like 86 or something like that.
Is that what it is?
That's close enough. Yeah, it was made. I think the first one was 81, maybe.
I know that Temple of Doom was 84. That's I think when you guys were born. So
you were born at that time too.
I was in 83.
Yeah, so you were born when the second one.
Yeah, I mean, you guys, it's literally the year.
What's funny is I always think they came out the first year I saw them, which was like 91 or 92.
But still, I mean, they hold up really well to scrutiny today. Like, George Lucas could actually make some
Well, he didn't make movies. These. He wrote Raiders of the Lost Ark. I don't know if he wrote the other ones.
Probably not. But
no, he didn't write the second one.
Who wrote the Temple of Doom?
That seems like
Willard Huyck.
Well, they should have had that guy writing Star Wars because that was a good movie, and Steven Spielberg making it and somebody else writing it, it would be pretty good.
And then Lucas came back for Last Crusade.
I gotta say though, like, I'm happy that he made Ewoks at this point because we had that awesome
fucking
gameplay.
Ewoks.
where we were murdering Ewoks. That was a lot of fun.
I never had that much fun playing that game because I don't like that game, but those Ewoks brought that game to a whole new level for me.
Yeah, and it was like no matter what, you can't lose. That was basically like, oh, I got killed by an Ewok. Now I get to murder, stormtroopers and sneak up on them in the middle of the night, which was like that's terrifying. A lot of fun.
And yet they can all see us, so it doesn't. We're not really sneaking up on them.
Yeah.
Oh man. And then they'd see your glowing eyes, and you'd blow your horn, and everybody starts freaking out.
Yeah. It's terrifying. Well, you could imagine like how strong they would be. They wouldn't be like just some, weak-limbed little tiny thing. They'd be like fucking crazy chimpanzee strong.
They're literally like mini bears. So
yeah, they'd be like crazy chimp strong. You'd be like, holy shit!
They're gonna eat your fucking face off.
Yeah,
literally, they'll eat your face off because they're fucking crazy.
Well, I mean, shit, like little to like 80-pound monkeys rip people's faces off.
Yeah.
Do you think we'll ever get Ewoks in an Indiana Jones movie?
No.
That would be weird, Ricky.
Well, yeah, but I mean, look at the fucking new one.
Not really a crossover. I think it's actually that was why they had R2-D2 and C-3PO in the background of the Egyptian stuff is because it's before. I mean, it does say in a long time ago in a galaxy far away.
They've seen everything. They're like Bender. They're just kind of hanging out.
Yeah, they found.
They're just stuck in the ground somewhere.
Yeah.
They found. They went to a time portal, so gotta wait it out.
Dude, that would suck. You're stuck in the ground for like 10,000 years, and the person who left you there comes and gets you, and they're like, "What? It's been like 3 minutes." Your mind would be so destroyed from that much time of just absentness.
I don't think robots would. I mean.
They can only run ones and zeros for so long before they're just like, fuck this. 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1.
I think they would just like put themselves in standby mode.
Yeah, pretty much to conserve energy in their
sleep mode, and they're just like boop. Then you just wake up 10,000 years later, being fine. Like, hey, what's going on? Yep,
maybe. He wakes up. He's got a shot glass, just holding it under Bender's nose. Bender's like. Is that whiskey?
that would totally make C-3PO a lot more entertaining, where he's just like chugging gallons of booze.
Burps fire.
Yeah. Even if he just acts the same.
The odds of that are 3 million and fuck it, I need another drink.
Hold it out on my whiskey.
I'm not going to tell you the odds. You tell me the odds.
That's right. I'm not going to tell you the odds. You tell me the odds. I'll tell you if you're right.
R2-D2 is nothing but a giant flask for C-3PO. That's why C-3PO follows him around.
He's just a shot glass that's upside down with wheels on it.
He's fucking Chewy shot glass.
Yeah. Oh, that's scary.
C-3PO, what are you doing on his crotch? Don't worry about it. It's booze.
It's consensual. Don't worry about it.
He's my mini keg.
You didn't know he was a refrigerator? Kegerator. Yeah.
All right. So what rating did you guys give this?
Gave this 4 stars. I like it. It's not the best movie I've ever seen, but it's certainly by far not the worst.
Yeah.
I gave it 2.5 stars. Compared to the Temple of Doom, this is in my opinion.
Okay.
So
yeah, I also gave it 2.5 stars. So wasn't really my cup of tea.
Yeah,
moments,
wasn't his cup of panty.
Nice.
Unlike these couple of haters here, I'm going to give it 4 stars.
I also gave it 4 stars. I like this movie. That was good. I just like that kind of swashbuckling kind of action movie kind of stuff. So. All right, next week's movie is Ricky's Choice. What are you gonna choose?
As soon as I remember it.
Sharknado 3.
It was not the next Sharknado movie.
It's been over a year, Ricky.
Yes.
I was gonna say, you gotta do it.
I've been trying to figure out how to get out of the next one if it was Sharknado 3. I don't know.
You could use a veto, man.
we gotta finish it.
We can't veto it. We've already gone into the process of watching it.
I know that. That's why I was like, I'll just say that I'm sick, or I'll get bit by a vampire, and I'll be like, hey, I died.
Well, yeah, but then you're immortal, and now you have to watch it forever.
No, I don't. That would suck. Wouldn't it suck? Like, the guy gives you the vampire agreement, right? And like line 3 that I would never read because I don't read stuff. Says like you have to watch Sharknado 3 every day, twice in a row.
Oh man! Otherwise, you turn to dust.
You'll die. And then like he lets you know, like seriously, if you don't do this, you'll die. Like you actually have to watch it. You can't do something else and watch it. You have to only watch it.
I mean, I would die at that point because I never just watch a movie. I always doing something else.
I would be like, I don't want to live then. I can't. No.
Unless I'm in a theater. Unless I'm in a theater, I'm never just watching a movie. So.
Oh, that wouldn't be that bad. Because then you could drink the drink and just look at the screen.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, but I'm thinking that I'm going to choose Men in Black 2.
Nice.
Okay.
That's like the
Johnny Knoxville.
Johnny Knoxville. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I totally forgot he was in this one.
Uh-huh.
For some reason, I thought the third one, and then it's not the third one because the third one's not.
He was a really funny cartoon character in the Men in Black animated series.
Yeah. Did he actually play the character in that?
I doubt it, but the character was very funny. I remember like this is like the only decent character besides Kay in this whole thing.
All right, so if nobody has any problems with that, we'll watch Men in Black next week. Men in Black 2 next week. Let's get that right.
Sounds good.
All right. Does anybody else have anything?
I'm just going to ask where Men in Black is at. Is it on Netflix?
Google Play.
Google Play. All righty.
All right. If nobody has anything else, that's going to be it. We're going to do the outro stuff here. Make sure you like us on Facebook, facebook.com/Heroic Adventure Productions. You can also go to youtube.com/Death by Like Presents, twitch.tv/Heroic Adventure, mixer.com/Turkadur, and twitch.tv/Turkadur Plays. Do the like and subscribe stuff over on YouTube. Subscribe over on twitch.tv/Heroic Adventure. We've got Twitch affiliate status now, so if you guys subscribe over there, you'll help us out. If you have Twitch Prime, it'll be no extra cost to you. So if you could do that, that would be great. It would really help us out. You can also follow us on Twitter at hapgaming. You can follow me on Twitter at Turkadur. You can follow Eric on Twitter at
Quick and Severe.
Follow Kelly on Twitter at
Sugar Snuggles.
Follow Ricky on Twitter at
Furry Twitcher Balls.
With no E in the Twitter. You can follow Jason on Twitter at
Unbelievable One.
You can also email us at Steve, Eric, Kelly, Jason, and Ricky at hapgaming.com. So send us emails, all that stuff. Send Ricky dick pics. Send Jason ideas of emojis for our Twitch stuff, so we can get some emojis on that. Be great if you could do that. What
great if
else?
You didn't send me dick pics.
No, send Ricky dick pics. Don't listen to what he's saying.
I don't know.
Ricky, you know you're going to want to see some massive hog somebody sent you.
No, I really don't.
Ricky, you save those up, and then when you're texting the girl, you send those to the girl. Then later on, you've already sealed the deal. She's going to be disappointed, but she's already there.
You're just like, no take backs.
Yeah.
No,
but she's going to be suspicious if it's a different color. So
that's
make
right.
sure you choose wisely.
Ricky poorly photoshops it.
Is that called catfishing?
It's got like a white guy's skin, but like a dark helmet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's a fancy hat.
Yeah.
Oh man! All right.
All of that toaster when I was a kid.
All of that stuff is in the description below on youtube.com/DeathByLikePresents.
With a Sharpie, he's just like, I gotta fix this.
On the upside, it wouldn't take long. Just a couple dots of black.
Damn it. All right. So like I was saying, all of that stuff is in the description below on youtube.com/DeathByLikePresents. I don't know if we have that on the descriptions for Twitch or anything like that. So, but you can check all those links out and join us on Thursday, 7 to 9 Pacific time as we play. I think we're playing Battlefield 1 next week. So join us then, Thursday, 7 to 9 Pacific time. If nobody has anything else, that's going to be it. We'll talk to you guys next week.
Bye.
See you.
Bye.